Did you enjoy your time on Fight This?
Yes and no. It was kind of the Wild West of the internet. You know, it was a call-in show. But very quickly we found out people would call in and they would screen the calls. Hey, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to ask? And they'd be like, I want to talk about Batista's world title match against, Jeff Hardy or whatever it would be. And then as soon as they'd get on the line with me, they'd say something stupid or call me an idiot. And at first I was doing the obviously that's not the kind of calls we want. And I'd do that. And then eventually it just got to the point where I was like, calling people the R word. You retard, stop calling here. TNA's great. I'm like, well, they call their show, you idiot. And that was it became that kind of show. And eventually they just took it off the air because it was just basically me arguing with random 13-year-olds.
Did it get to a point where people were prank callers just to piss you off?
Probably.
Like the people calling in about TNA, like there's an entire montage of this online.
Yeah.
Of you being like, yeah, they've got a show, you should call into that. I think it's on at like 4 a.m.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was. But I would prepare my brain like every call. I'm like, all right, the first question, he just asked a legitimate question. They'd always be like something like, I want to ask this question. Also, Todd, why do women dodge you? One kid goes, why do women dodge you? And I'm like, well, women don't dodge. I don't dodge women. Women dodge me. And then he hung the phone up. And I go, you're dodging me. It was just a constant battle with idiots.
I think people forget that in the height of TNA stuff at that time, there were some real rivalries. And I know there was the early days of the internet.
Yeah.
We maybe didn't feel it the same way because social media didn't exist.
Yeah.
But if you were a hardcore TNA fan, you were a hardcore TNA fan.
Well, it was the counterculture, sort of
Sure,
I'm not a WWE fan. You should try TNA. It's the real wrestling. It's total nonstop action.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. They were just trying to troll you and get their message out there. But they were not Vince didn't even, from what I remember, no one even paid attention to them at the time.
What was the point then?
Yeah. The point of the show was, the internet's here and we got this cool show. And at the beginning it was kind of cool. We'd bring a guest on and we'd do fun stuff. But Chris Masters was on there one time, and someone was calling him berating Chris Masters, and it was just. But people kind of came to enjoy it. It was I don't know how long it was on the air, maybe a year or 2 years, but I mean, we had a pretty cool thing going with Matt Hardy and Edge with the Lita thing.
Oh, that was huge.
That blew up on Bite This. They acted like it was a surprise call where we had Lita on, and then Matt calls in, and that was at the time that we found out that she left Matt and was cheating on him with his best friend behind her back, which was Edge. So Matt Hardy called into the show, and they had their little back and forth. And I remember thinking at the time, I didn't know what was real and what wasn't. You're like, is Matt Hardy going to kill Edge? And well, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So I remember that people still ask me about that. Did you know that Matt Hardy was going to call into that show? It's like, yeah, but I didn't know what he was going to say.
At the time, I remember being like, I can't believe these guys are going to have a match. I understand they're both professionals, but Matt Hardy could actually hurt Edge here. He felt like he was that pissed off.
Yeah. Well, they had the build-up was, but that's when wrestling is the best, when it feels real. And that was, to me, that was the realest, if that's a word, realest moment maybe of the 7 or 8 years I was there, because there were some people who were like, of course they're professionals. They're not going to, but you never knew. I mean, Matt was kind of, at the time I felt like he didn't feel respected. I think he had some injuries. He's a little overweight, and Vince would be feeding me lines in my ear to make fun of Matt Hardy during matches, so he was kind of feeling dejected already, and then just find his girlfriend's doing this behind his back. I was thinking he might snap in the ring and really go for it and fight